guys, it is Thursday afternoon, and I wanted to do a little, well, actually, probably not a little, this is probably going to be a longer video because I am, going to be doing the spinner wheel picks how many pages I read. So it's going to be kind of a reading type vlog video. But I have the little wheel spinner thing on my computer, and I'm gonna have it spin, and then it's going to select how many pages I read for the next day. So today's Thursday, I'm going to have it spin and pick how many pages I'm going to read tomorrow, and then I'll do that throughout the day tomorrow, and then tomorrow evening I'll come back, have it spin again, pick how many pages I'm going to read for Saturday, and so on and so forth. And this will probably be about a week's worth of reading, maybe, depending on what I have going on, which I have a lot going on because I'm a teacher and my school is still in session until June 11th. It is May 21st right now. So we have about 3 weeks left, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump into having the wheel select how many pages I'm reading for tomorrow for Friday. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here is my wheel. I have another one right here, and it's just my backlist reading, my backlist TBR basically. Excuse me, I go to it anytime I'm in the mood to read a backlist book instead of a new release. Anytime I don't know what to pick up, so I just need some inspiration. That one helps me out, but this one is the one that we're going to use to decide how many pages I read today. Sorry, my sister just texted me and it popped up on my computer. Anyways, excuse me, not to read today, how many pages I read tomorrow, Friday, which is the 22nd of May right now. Okay, 100 pages, that seems doable. When I am teaching, it shouldn't be too bad with evening time tomorrow. Plus, I do have a little bit of reading time in the morning. And then I have my students do active reading time, and I read along with them. So, I'm gonna go ahead. They're working on a book report, just like a side note, and like boring, but teacher life. They're working on a book report right now, so I'm giving them a little bit of class time each class period to read. And then right now it's mostly just finding like details and information that's required in the book report. Most of them should be done reading their book by now, but side note, I am currently reading The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I just started it, so I'm only like 5 pages in right now, but I'll probably do a little bit of reading tonight, and then I'll of course do my 100 pages tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, good morning everyone. It is Friday. I'm just finishing up getting ready to go to work, but I wanted to update you quickly on where I am in The Last Letter. I absolutely passed out last night after I took a shower, so I didn't end up reading much. So right now I am on page, where are we? Page 13. My fingers are covering the number, hang on. Yep, 13 right there. So that means I will be reading to at least page 113 today. So I'm gonna finish getting ready, and then I'll have a little bit of time to read before I have to leave to go to school. So let's go. Right, hey everybody, it is after school now, and I'm just getting ready to head out. I read to page 48, in The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, and I've cried once, so that'll tell you how it's going. Hey everybody, let's do a book haul. Okay, I went to TJ Maxx and Barnes & Noble after school. I went to TJ Maxx because I needed a new planner, but I also wanted to check out their book section because I've been, oh my goodness, my dog is barking or doing something in the kitchen. I'm a couple rooms away from the kitchens, but I can just hear him, so hopefully it's not too loud for you. But anyways, I went to TJ Maxx because I need to get a new planner, and I did find one. Very pretty. And then I also checked out the book section. So the first 4 books that I'm going to show you are from TJ Maxx. Okay, first I found None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. It is celebrating her 45th birthday at the hot new local pub. Popular podcaster Alex Summer crosses paths with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are in fact birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, this time outside Alex's children's school. Josie has been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She tells Alex, on the cusps of great changes in her life. Josie appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds her unsettling, she cannot quite resist the temptation to keep going on the project. Slowly she starts to realize that Josie is hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has entered her life and her home. But as quickly as she had arrived, Josie Fair disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's lives in grave danger. I've seen people talk about this, not so much recently, but I think it's because it was an older release, so I will end up putting this on my little wheel that I showed for the backlist. And then next I got The House in the Grillian Sea. And it says, Linus Baker leads a quiet, solitary life as a caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. He spends his days overseeing the well-being of children in government-sanctioned orphanages. When Linus is unexpectedly summoned by extremely upper management, he's given a curious and highly classified assignment to travel to the Marsyas Island orphanages where 6 dangerous children reside and determine whether or not they're likely to bring about the end of days. All of these are paperbacks, the ones that I got from TJ Maxx. The None of This Is True was $8.99. This one was $9.99. Then I got The Perfect Marriage, which says Sarah Morgan is a successful defense attorney in Washington, D.C. As a named partner at her firm, life is going exactly how she planned. The same cannot be said for her husband, Adam. He's a struggling writer who has had little success in his career, and he tires of his and Sarah's relationship as she is constantly working. Out in the secluded woods at the couple's lake home, Adam engages in a passionate affair with Kelly Summers. But one morning, everything changes. Kelly is found brutally stabbed to death, and now Sarah must take on her hardest case yet, defending her own husband, a man accused of murdering his mistress. That sounds interesting. This one was $6.99. And then lastly, at TJ Maxx, I found All the Light We Cannot See, which says, Marie-Laure LeBlanc lives with her father in Paris near the Museum of Natural History where he works. When she is 12, the Nazis occupy Paris and father and daughter flee to the walled citadel of Saint Malo, where Marie-Laure's reclusive great-uncle lives in a tall house by the sea. With them, they carry what might be the museum's most valuable and dangerous jewel. In a mining town in Germany, Werner Pfeffing, an orphan, grows up with his younger sister, enchanted by a crude radio they find that brings them news and stories from places they have never seen or imagined. Werner becomes an expert at building and fixing these crucial instruments and is enlisted to use his talent to track down the resistance. Marie-Laure and Werner, from warring countries, both have lost many people they loved, come together in St. Malo, which illuminates the ways against all odds people try to be good to one another. 10 years in the writing, All the Light We Cannot See is a magnificent, deeply moving novel from a writer whose sentences never fail to thrill, which is a quote from the Los Angeles Times. And this one was $8.99. Okay, and then I went to Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 books. I got 2 paperbacks, and Barnes & Noble has been running a sale where I got 2 hardbacks. Oh my goodness, it's Friday, and I'm ready for a long weekend. Monday is the 25th, Memorial Day, and so I don't have work that day, which will be nice. But I got 2 paperbacks, and Barnes & Noble was running a sale where you buy one for all. Did I say paperbacks again? I got 2 hardbacks. Oh my goodness, I don't know. But I got 2 hardbacks. They're running a sale where you buy a hardback and you get a second for half off. And then they also had some particular, specific sales for paperbacks where you could buy one, get one half off as well. But as far as the paperbacks go, I got This Story Might Save Your Life. And it says, Benny Abbott and Joy Moore host one of the most beloved podcasts in the world. Each week, they delight listeners with a different, against all odds survival story, gleefully finding the weird, life-affirming humor in near-death experiences. Since their first episode on Joy's experience with severe narcolepsy, they've been the best friends everyone wants to befriend. And thanks to the meticulous management of Joy's husband, Xander, they've built a lucrative empire. The problem is, their next survival story may be their own. When Benny arrives at Joy and Xander's home one morning to record, he finds shattered glass in an empty house. The one clue shedding light on the couple's disappearance is the incomplete, previously unseen first draft of Joy's memoir. Benny will stop at nothing to find them, even as the police soon zero in on him as their prime suspect. Millions of devoted listeners think they know the real Benny and Joy. But as the hours tick by and the odds seem increasingly stacked against Joy and Xander being found alive, not even the most devoted fans can guess the terrible secrets their favorite famous BFFs have hidden from the world and from each other. And then the other hardback that I got is Yesteryear. I've seen a lot of people talk about this one. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people loved it and some people have not liked it. So we'll see how I feel. But the description says, Natalie Heller Mills is a traditional American woman, a beautiful wife and mother who sells her pioneer lifestyle of raw milk and farm fresh eggs to her millions of social media followers. Her farmhouse is charmingly rustic, her husband a handsome cowboy, her 6 children, each more delightful than the last. So what if there are nannies and producers behind the scenes? Her kitchen is hiding industrial grade fridges and ovens, and her husband is the heir to a political dynasty. What Natalie's followers don't know won't hurt them. And the angry women, the privileged Ivy League coastal elite haters who call her an anti-feminist, they're sick with jealousy because Natalie isn't simply living the good life. She's building an empire. Until one morning she wakes up in a life that isn't hers. Her home, her husband, her children, they're all familiar but wrong. Her kitchen is warmed by a sputtering fire rather than electricity. Her children are dirty and strange, and her soft-handed husband is suddenly a competent farmer. Carved into the wooden threshold is the date 1855. Just yesterday, Natalie was curating photos of homemade jam for her Instagram, and now she's expected to haul firewood and hand-wash clothes until her fingers bleed. Has she become the unwitting star of a ruthless reality show? Could it really be time travel? Is she being tested by God, by Satan? When Natalie suffers a brutal injury in the woods, she realizes 2 things. This is not her beautiful life, and she must escape by any means possible. A gripping, electrifying novel that is as darkly funny as it is frightening, Yesteryear is a gimlet-eyed look at tradition, fame, faith, the grand performance of womanhood. So I think I'm going to be very interested in this one. Next I have A Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. This is a new release. I think it just recently got released. Here's some of the art. So excited to read this one, but this one says professional bull rider Emmett Bush is not looking for love. He's looking for a paycheck to save his family's farm from bankruptcy. So when he agrees to be the leading man on a hot new reality dating show, Romance Ranch, he's already decided it's all one big performance. Until Julia Silva walks onto his property, smart, snarky, beautiful, and off limits in more ways than one. As the location consultant on set and the little sister of his most bitter professional rival, she's the last woman who should pique his interest. Julia has been warned about Emmett. She knows better than to fall for his cocky swagger, broad shoulders, and smoldering good looks. Plus, she's sworn off relationships. But as Julia and Emmett work together, mutual distaste grows into an unexpected connection and then something more. Soon they find themselves searching for excuses to spend time together out of reach of the cameras. Knowing glances, stolen kisses, secret rendezvous. Still, Emmett signed up to play the role of an eligible bachelor searching for the one. His family's land and legacy depend on him completing the show. The problem is he's already fallen in love, just not with a contestant. Okay, then we have Picking Daisies on Sundays, and it was the hand-trembling, heart-thumping kind of love that you weren't supposed to feel when you looked at your best friend. But it all ended when Levi didn't feel the same way, and Daniela Daisy Maria vowed to never see him again. 4 years later, there he is in a crowded West Village bar, just as perfect as ever. Maybe it's the lighting or the way his hair curls above his brow, but when he asks her to be his fake girlfriend for his sister's wedding, she can't bring herself to say no. But with old feelings resurfacing at every stage romantic interaction and stolen glance, she begins to wonder if maybe this time she should have protected her heart. Then we have First and Forever. They're sprayed edges, and they're like fireworks, little hearts. It's yellow and very cute. And these two were the buy one, get one half off. So that was a good deal. This one says, Duffy DeStefano loves three things: her dad, the family cat, and Minneapolis Coyote football. So after she gets booted out of a game and becomes the internet's villain following an awful encounter with the team's beloved mascot, she is disgruntled, to put it mildly. Eager to clear the air, Duffy agrees to an interview on a hit morning show. She doesn't expect a co-guest to join her, especially not the Coyotes' star tight end. When MVP Connor Cunningham gets tasked with damage control to help his team out of a PR nightmare involving its mascot, he thinks that means saying a few words on the Coyotes' behalf. Instead, he finds himself in a highly amusing verbal sparring match with a recently wronged fan on live TV. Duffy pelts him with fiery jabs, but is also clearly well-versed in all things Coyotes, color him intrigued and attracted. The interview instantly goes viral, and the public is obsessed with them. A strong push from the Coyotes' PR team to ride the wave results in Connor asking Duffy out. Despite his distaste for PR stunts, he discovers that being with Duffy is much easier than he anticipated, and somehow it doesn't feel fake to him. The secret can only blow up in his face, but all he knows is that if he ruins things with Duffy, it'll be the greatest fumble of his life. Okay, and then we have The Mad Wife. Lulu Mayfield has spent the last 5 years molding herself into the perfect 1950s housewife. Despite the tragic memories that haunt her and the weight of exhausting expectations, she keeps her husband happy, her household running, and her gelatin salads the talk of the neighborhood. But after she gives birth to her second child, Lulu's carefully crafted life begins to unravel. When a new neighbor, Bitsy, moves in, Lulu suspects something darker lurks behind that woman's constant smile. As her fixation on Bitsy deepens, Lulu is drawn into a web of unsettling truths that threaten to expose the cracks of her own life. The more she uncovers about Bitsy, the more she questions everything she thought she knew. And soon others begin questioning her sanity. But is Lulu truly losing her mind, or is she on the verge of discovering a reality too terrifying to accept? Okay, that sounds very interesting. Lastly, we have Cat's People, which, I mean, the cover of this is beautiful. Nuria, a barista with a little resentment for the crazy cat lady label, is a member of the Meow Yorkers, a group in Brooklyn that takes care of the neighborhood's stray cats. On her volunteering days, she starts finding post-it notes left by a secret admirer in that area where she feeds her favorite stray, a black cat named Cat. Like most felines, he's both curious and observant, so of course he knows who the notes are from. Nuria, however, is clueless. Are the notes from Colin, an author and self-professed hermit with a weakness for a good coffee? Are they from Lily, a young Georgia native searching for her long-lost half-sister? Are they from Omar, the beloved neighborhood mailman going through an early midlife crisis? Or are they from Bon, the grieving widower who owns Nuria's favorite bodega? When Cat falls ill, these 5 strangers find themselves bonding over the desire to care for him and discovers that chance encounters can lead to a meaningful connections they've all been searching for. I don't know, I like cats, so I liked that one. But that was my book haul from the day. I do have a few more coming in from Amazon, but those won't be here until Sunday. I believe today's Friday. I think I mentioned that, but just in case. But that is my book haul, so I'm gonna continue reading, and I will catch you guys pretty soon. Okay, so after I got home, I made dinner, and now I'm going to continue reading in The Last Letter. I left off on page 48, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading. I have a little over 50 pages, about 65 pages to go before I've met my goal of 100 pages, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and spin the wheel to find out what our page count to read tomorrow is. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the screen, flip the camera, so give me 1 sec. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it tells me 275, so tomorrow I need to read 275 pages. That's quite a bit, but because it's Saturday and I don't work, I think that will be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my 100 pages, and I will update you guys when I've finished that. Okay, everybody, I'm in the kitchen just making my water for the night before I go to bed, but I wanted to update you real quick on where I am in The Last Letter. I finished up on page 122, cried 2 more times since my last update from earlier. So if that tells you how well this is going, I lost my mom to cancer 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, and the premise of the book is about childhood cancer, but just hearing the different perspectives of family members who are dealing with the situation, and how they're feeling, as well as the child with cancer, really reminded me of how all of that was happening when my mom was fighting the cancer. So I really enjoy that. I feel very connected to the characters and what's happening in the book. I don't enjoy childhood cancer, or any cancer for that matter. That's like not what I meant. But yes, I will pick back up tomorrow. Probably just gonna watch a little TikTok and then go to sleep. But 275 pages tomorrow, so I'll probably finish up The Last Letter because it's about just under 400 pages, and then, I'll probably start something new, and I haven't decided what I want to start yet, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, hey everybody, I just pulled up to the gym, and I'm about to head in and do my workout. I'm probably going to do abs today. Don't mind my little swing ducky. My cousin made him. She crochets a lot of things. He was my Christmas present, and then this is one of my tassels from my college graduation, so that's what's kind of hanging right here. But I wanted to show you guys a couple things real quick. I went to the sourdough stand. It's close to my house. I'm going to cover the name because it also has the address on there, and for safety reasons for this person and for me, I don't really show that on there. But this is Vampire Slayer sourdough. I'm from Oregon, and on the coast there's a creamery in the city of Bandon who makes Vampire Slayer cheese, and it's just a very garlic heavy cheese, like not in a bad way, but that's why it's called Vampire Slayer. And the baker that I purchased sourdough from makes sourdough with the Vampire Slayer cheese, and it is incredible. And then I got, I'm gonna cover again, the cookies. and some natural disinfectant spray. That's fun. Smells pretty good. Oops, gotta text her something. Anyways, I also got this giant thing of strawberries. From one of the little fruit stands that is in my area. I'm probably gonna make strawberry jam out of those guys. And then I also got my Book of the Month box in the mail. I got this book person hat. And then the book that I picked was Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. And the description says, Frankie and George have been best friends since they were 8 years old. Both passionate, impulsive, and headstrong, they've always clashed and come back together. Until now. It's the eve of Frankie's wedding, and she doesn't know where to stand or even if George will show up as her best man. Then, at the start of the festivities, in walks George. For one glorious evening, surrounded by her loved ones, Frankie feels her life is finally perfect. But it all comes crashing down when her fiancé dumps her the next morning, leaving only a note as an explanation. Crushed and confused, Frankie returns to her family's home to wallow. But George has a different idea and a plan for healing Frankie's broken heart. He wants her to go on her honeymoon with him for 1 week to the lush rainforests and misty beaches of Tofino. Frankie agrees, seeing the trip for what it really is, one last chance to repair their friendship, even if it means unearthing secrets and long-buried feelings neither knows how to handle, even if it means falling apart for good. So I'm excited to read that one. I think that one will be a good summer read. And because my school is wrapping up, perfect timing. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into the gym and finish my warm-up. I'm also gonna update you guys real quick on, did I say warm-up? Workout. I'm also gonna update you guys real quick on the last letter. So I did about 100 pages of my 275 pages today for the reading amount that I spun on the wheel, which you'll see in the few clips before this. But I am about halfway through, a little over halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Again, the connection that I feel to the characters, I think heavily influences that, but it's been really fun and easy to read, even though it's a harder topic, because there's some fun and interesting things that happen, and there are some funny moments, even with how serious and heavy the topic is. So I will definitely update you guys when I'm finished with it. And then I did my little spin, and it picked out Fever Dream by Elsie Silver as my next read, so that's what I will start after I finished the last letter. And I'll only have to technically read about 10 pages in my next book, Fever Dream, because of the amount that I'm reading in the last letter today. So I will see you guys back home when I have finished my workout and continue reading. Okay, so it is now closer to 8 o'clock. I went to try a new restaurant. Well, it's a fast food place with my sister, her best friend, and my best friend, who happen to be siblings, and their younger brother. And I spent the afternoon after we got home reading. It was Wingstop. My area just got a Wingstop. It opened like a couple days ago, so we tried that. It was pretty good. But I have finished the last letter, and you know that feeling that you feel like when an author writes something and you're like, it was so mean to write this, but in a devastatingly beautiful way. The writing was beautiful, the story was beautiful, and I haven't like sobbed over a book in a long time. I've definitely gotten teary-eyed, but I haven't sobbed in a long time. And I did with this book. The first few times that I was mentioning crying, it was just a few like tears in my eyes, but I definitely sobbed with this one. But now that that is done, I'm gonna figure out how many pages I need to read of Fever Dream, because that's my next selection. But I am going to spin my wheel to find out how many I need to read tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera and show you that. I actually added a new release selector. I already had my backlist yesterday when I showed you, and then the page number, but now I added a new release. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin this one to find out how many pages we're gonna read tomorrow. Okay, 400. That's totally okay because tomorrow is Sunday and I don't really have a whole lot of plans other than making strawberry jam and pear butter. So sounds fun. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. And then I'm gonna get to figuring out how many pages I need to read. Once I do that, I will update you. It's not gonna be very far into Fever Dream, so probably won't have a huge update, but I will see you once I've read those. Alright, good. Well, I guess it's technically actually afternoon, but today's Sunday. I had a few things that I did this morning. I made some strawberry jam, and I'll show you guys that later when I go to finish up cleaning up in the kitchen. And I'm also making pear butter in the crock pot right now, but it's just past noon and I'm gonna have some leftover Chinese food for lunch. We had Chinese food for dinner last night. And I am about halfway through my page requirement for the day. Right now I'm reading Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. That's her name, right? Yes, this is my first book that I've read by her. I have heard a lot of good things about her books, but this is the first one that I picked up just because the cover intrigues me. Sorry, I'm wiping off the water that I got on my Chinese food container because it was sitting on the counter, and just make sure we got a little bit. Hang on. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. I haven't picked up any of her books before, although I've been intrigued, but the cover, I really like the cover on this one, so I grabbed it when I was at Barnes & Noble. It's in the book haul clip that I did at the beginning, like closer to the beginning of this vlog, but I really enjoy it, or I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about halfway through my page requirement. I got to page 12 yesterday because my requirement was 275 pages. Excuse me, and what I had left in the last letter was 271 pages, so I needed to read 4 more pages. I just read chapter 1 in Fever Dream, and it was 12 pages long, so I'm reading to page 412 today, and that'll give me about 25-ish pages left in Fever Dream. And then I picked out my next read for tomorrow, In 5 Years, by Rebecca Searle, I think is how you say her last name. But I'm enjoying Fever Dream so far. I like the banter between the characters. This is definitely a way different vibe than the last letter, which is fine. I needed something more happy with a better, or not a better, that's not the correct word, but like a happier ending. Because the ending, although was devastating in the last letter, it wasn't a bad ending. So, but I'm enjoying the banter and just the interactions between the two main characters. But I'm gonna continue with that reading here after I have my lunch, and then I'm gonna do some cleaning in the kitchen and just cleaning up around the house because I usually do that on Sundays. But I do have tomorrow off because it's Memorial Day, so I'm not gonna go like super intense like I normally do. I'll probably do my meal prepping lunches tomorrow just because I like to have them as fresh as possible. And I obviously won't be doing that like on like today. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking of other things that I need to get done, but I want to have my lunches as fresh as possible, so I'll probably meal prep them tomorrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat my lunch and then continue reading. Alright, hey everybody, it is a little while later. I am on page 356 of Fever Dream right now, which means that I have just over 50 pages to read left. So I'm going to go ahead and do my spin for the it's technically afternoon, for the afternoon, so that I know how much I'm going to read tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna read 250 pages. I'll have about 25-ish pages to read in Fever Dream, and then in 5 years is 255 pages, a little bit less because these are the acknowledgements, but that will be just under, or just over what I need to read in 5 years. So I'll finish this, or get very close to finishing this up tomorrow, and then we will pick something new. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep reading in Fever Dream, and I'll come back to you with an update this evening about how I liked the first 400-ish pages. Alright, hey everybody, it's a little while later. I have met my goal for Fever Dream. I'm just gonna show you real quick, hopefully. Doing this with one hand isn't ideal, but it's okay. Okay, so I read to page 412 because it's 413 and I haven't read it yet. But I'm gonna stop there for the night, finish that up tomorrow, and then start in 5 years. And so I'll get most of the way through in 5 years tomorrow, and I'll have just a little bit left. I'm gonna show you a little bit of book mail that I got in the mail today. So I have This Is How You Lose the Time More. I'll see a lot of people talking about that. It sounds interesting, and I've heard that the writing is beautiful. So then I got Stars, Stripes, and Summer Nights, and I'll probably read that around 4th of July time, of course. And then finally I got Rules for the Summer by Megan Quinn. The sprayed edges are beautiful. And this sounds like a fun summer read. So I will wrap that up here for the night, and I will see you all tomorrow for the next part of this vlog. Okay, good morning everybody. I just wanted to show you my breakfast. I have coffee, and then this is a egg and bacon bagel sandwich from it's on a homemade sourdough bagel. It's just a sourdough cheddar bagel. Can't speak. But I wanted to show you that. I'm going to eat, and then quick update on reading. I finished Fever Dream. Very much enjoyed it. I'd say that it was like a 4.25 star for me. it's very rare that I read a book 5 stars, so I did enjoy the story, but it wasn't the perfect book for me. But I'm going to start in 5 years very soon, and I will get through most of that. Probably have about 20-ish pages left in it, and then I will see you guys later this afternoon for another update and our next spin. Hey everybody, it's a little while later. I actually decided to change up my plans just a little bit. I was approved for an ARC on NetGalley. It's called Meet Me at Midnight, and it's about 235 pages, which is the perfect amount. That's like exactly what I need to read to reach my, it's just slightly over my 250 page goal, since I just finished up the last 20-ish pages of Fever Dream this morning. But I am gonna go ahead and continue reading it. I'm only about 30 pages in because I just got approved for it. But so far I'm enjoying it. But again, only 30 pages in, so we'll see what happens. Then I have some cleaning and admin, a little bit of meal prep to do. But other than that, that's what I'm planning on doing for the rest of the afternoon. So I will see you guys pretty soon to update you a little bit more. And I'm probably going to go ahead and just do my spin now to find out how many pages I'm going to read tomorrow. So let's go do that. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and read 100 pages, which is a little bit high just because I do work tomorrow, but I did it on Friday, so I definitely think I will be able to do it tomorrow. Hey guys, I wanted to update you real quick, but Howard wanted to say hi. But I finished the ARC that I got from NetGalley, and I actually really enjoyed it. I ended up reading it 4.5 stars. But I am gonna go ahead and get ready for bed. Tomorrow I'm gonna read in 5 years. My page count is 100, like you'll see in the wheel in the clips before this. But that is my update for the day. Don't mind the wet hair, I just took a shower. But I will see you in the morning. Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Today is Tuesday. I just got finished up at the gym. I go before work. I try to go 5 days a week. One of those days is typically Saturdays, so I usually have Sunday off, definitely as one of my rest days, but I still walk during that time because right now I'm actually doing the 75 hard challenge. Not to say that after the 75 hard challenge I will stop walking on my rest days, but I come and lift weights at the gym at least 5 days a week. Typically my weekday off day from the gym is Thursday, but it really depends on what I have going on. It may end up being tomorrow because my sister shows animals for 4-H and they're doing a bunch of setup things. That's this weekend, but they're doing a bunch of setup things tomorrow, so I may end up having tomorrow be my rest day from the gym, but we'll see how I'm feeling this evening. Anyways, update on reading. I have not started reading any of In 5 Years yet, but it's only just past 7:30 after going to the gym before work. I know that I'll definitely have at least a little bit of time during my work day to read, but it really depends how much. But I will update you guys later on how that goes, probably after work. And then when I go home, I will have the spinner pick the amount of pages that I read tomorrow. But I'll have tomorrow, and then I'll probably do the spinner tomorrow afternoon as well to pick how many pages I read Thursday, and then depending on what's going on, I may have it do Friday, but Friday was my first day of picking or technically Thursday was my first day of using the spinner to pick, and Friday was my first day of reading. So that will basically be a week once we get to Thursday, and then this video will go up. But we will see. So I will update you guys a little bit later, and hopefully I have some progress in 5 years. Alright, hey everybody, it is evening time now. I just finished up a meeting that I had this evening, and I wanted to update you on in 5 years, and then go ahead and spin our wheel to pick the amount of pages I read tomorrow, Wednesday. I am enjoying in 5 years so far, but I'm only about 100 pages in. I mean, it's not very long of a book. It's only like 250 pages or so, but I am enjoying the story so far. I find the concept of it very engaging, and that's probably why I'm liking it as much as I am right now. But I will update you guys tomorrow about that after I've read some more. But we're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel, and then we're probably gonna pick my next read from my backlist picker, just so that I have that going on. And I have a new book picked out just in case I end up reading or needing to read enough pages to finish in 5 years tomorrow. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna read 150 pages. Alright, hey everybody, it is actually Wednesday afternoon. I'm so sorry about not updating you more today, but it has been a crazy day. We are nearing the end of school in my district, and my students are absolutely crazy, but I just wanted to update you. I am about 200 pages into in 5 years, and I'm enjoying the story. I have about 5 chapters left, I believe, about 50 pages. So I should finish that up this evening, and I will update you then. And when I get home, I will do the spin the wheel to select how many pages I read tomorrow. I did my backlist picker, and it selected for me to read World War Z, so I'm gonna go ahead and start that probably tomorrow, because I have just the correct amount for my 150 pages that I'm reading today in 5 years left. I obviously finished some of those because I've been reading some today, but I didn't get as much reading done as I had hoped today. I did do quite a bit this morning before I left for work, so that is why my goal isn't as hefty after work today. So I will see you when I get home, when we pick how many pages I read tomorrow. Okay, I am home now, so I'm gonna go ahead and have the wheel pick how many pages I read tomorrow. Okay, I'm back home, so I'm gonna go ahead and have the wheel pick how many pages I read tomorrow. Okay, I'm back home, so I'm gonna go ahead and have the wheel pick how many pages I read tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna read 125 pages, which is perfect because I do have work, so that's not like a huge astronomical number, but it's also not like tiny, like 25 or 50. So I will be starting World War Z because I just finished in 5 years, and I really enjoyed that story. I'd say that I'd probably give it 4 stars, maybe 4.25. I think I really connected with the like friendship and the grief aspect of it, so that's why I probably enjoyed it pretty much, or pretty well. But I am gonna go ahead and eat, and then I have to take my sister to a 4-H meeting, so I probably won't do a whole lot more reading tonight, but I will pick back up tomorrow when I start World War Z. So I'll see you guys later. Good evening, everybody. I apologize about not updating you until now. It was a long day. Just trying to get through the week, but I did end up having some time to read, and so I ended up getting it to page 136 in World War Z. It is interesting. It's not like my number one favorite thing, but it's also not bad. It's more like a mid-range book, like probably 2.5, 3.5 is maybe like the highest that I'll probably end up reading it, depending on how it goes. I don't know, there could be like something incredible at the end that I love, but for right now, where I am, probably the highest I would go is like a 3.5, but we'll see what happens. I've hit my page amount, and yesterday was my last spin, so I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here, but I will have more videos coming out. I just posted one yesterday talking about the books that I want to read this summer, and then I am going to start a new reading vlog. In that vlog, I will probably finish up reading World War Z, and then I will probably start, where is it? None of This Is True, right there, by Lisa Jewell. The reading vlog is a reading through my TBR, and both of those books have been on my TBR for a little while, so we'll wrap up World War Z in that vlog. It's just so that I can put both parts into a vlog, because I'm kind of stopping halfway in that book for the end of this vlog, and then I'll read None of This Is True. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned for that. It will be out in a couple days, probably, depending on how long it takes me to get through the books, which I don't foresee it taking that long. But if you enjoyed this vlog, please let me know, and I will definitely consider making more like it in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.